So let's talk just a bit about title pages and first pages of papers. For longer essays in this class, you are going to be asked for title pages. Again, you want to follow every other guideline that we've discussed so far, but the next thing to remember with these is that they should not be labeled as page 1. Your title page should not have a page number that references it as the first page. And when you go to Insert to select your page numbers, you want to choose the option that accounts for a page number. It's the one in the upper right-hand corner here, where you see you have a little thumbnail of a title page and then a second page after it that's actually labeled as page 1. So it's like a book. The front cover isn't page 1. The first actual page is page 1. So you can think of your papers in the same way. Your cover is the cover, and then the first page of content is page 1. So make sure you never have a page number on your title page. When writing the title of your paper, space down to the middle of the paper. There's some tricks you can use to do this. Often when I'm making a title page, what I'll do is I'll zoom out on the paper. You have the little drop-down menu here on Google Drive. I'm sure other word processors have similar options, but zooming out is a good way to do this because you can really easily eyeball where the middle of the page is. There's not a specific amount of spaces down you need to go, but I found that maybe about eight or nine taps of the Enter key usually does the trick for me. I believe that's when I'm in double spaced. But really don't concern yourself too much with the number of clicks it takes to get down there. Just make sure you're about at the center of the page. That's really what we're asking for when we talk about MLA format. When you type your title, you want it to be, again, at the middle of the page, and you want it to be centered. So you want to align the paper to the center. So that's easy to do if you just click this button up here on Google Drive. Similar options are available on other processors, but make sure it's aligned to the center, not to the left or to the right. This title needs to be in the same font and the same size as everything else. And I know it's tempting to use your title page as an opportunity to, do something creative with the formatting, but we're sticking to MLA formatting here. There may be times that a little bit of formatting creativity is warranted, and I will certainly let you know when that's the case. But typically, if I'm not asking for it specifically, keep everything in the same font and in the same size. You also don't have to bold everything or italicize everything. The only time you'd use italics is if you're using a title of a work in your title of the paper. So as you can see here, I have an example of that. But you don't typically want to bold or italicize or underline everything on your title. Space down again to the bottom of the page. And make sure you have room down at the bottom of the page. And again, looking at it from a zoomed out perspective helps with this. For 4 lines centered and double spaced. And on each of these lines, you want to type your name, your teacher's name, the course name, and the due date of the assignment. And there you have it, a very, very slick looking title page. That is what we are looking for. Sometimes you won't be required to have a title page on your papers. So pay attention to the expectations for the assignment. If you're asked to do a title page, please do a title page. If you're not asked to do a title page, I'm typically not requiring it. I will put that in the instructions if I want one. If we're doing a big formal MLA paper, then we are going to want a title page there. But if you're not required to do a title page, here are the instructions that I want you to follow for the first page of a paper. In the upper left-hand corner of the first page, I want you to list all of those things, again, that we had at the bottom of the title page. Just this time, make sure that it's aligned to the left side of the paper. Right, you don't want it aligned in the center this time. That would look a little bit awkward. So you want all that stuff that we would put at the bottom of the title page, your name, instructor's name, course, and the date, but we just want that aligned to the left. You don't want to put it in the header, you actually want this kind of on the body of the paper. So once you've done that, double space again and center the title of your writing piece. Again, don't underline, italicize, or place the title in quotation marks. Write it in standard capitalization, not all caps. Basically how you would do it on the title page, just we're moving it to this first page because in this scenario we're not required to have a title page. Again, use quotation marks or italics when you're referring to other works in your title, just as you would in your text. One thing to remember with titles, though, is they're not typically complete sentences. So if your title is not a complete sentence, don't put a period at the end of it unless it has a full subject and a full predicate. Space between the centered title and the first line of the text, and make sure you have that header created with page numbers again. Page numbers will be expected when I have you create a new document and create a new writing piece. And make sure you use Arabic numerals. So this is just, basic 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.